This is your Monex Metals Market Update with Mike Maroney.
Good afternoon. It's Monday, August 28th. My name is Mike Maroney. I am coming to you today from the Monex Precious Metals studio. Let's do our week in preview. Well, we started off with a bang this week. We had a lot of action, and a lot of that was predicated on what took place last week as far as the US dollar was concerned. There was a major conference in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and many people thought that we were going to get some bearish news out of Draghi, which would push the euro down, and some potential bullish news out of Mrs. Yellen, which would push the dollar up. But that's not what happened. The dollar last week closed below the lowest weekly close we've seen, going all the way back until 2014. Now that's very interesting when you consider when we saw Mr. Trump elected, the dollar had a major move to the upside and traded as high as 104.50. The dollar is now trading down around 92, a 12.5 point drop. And needless to say, we're trading in areas that we haven't seen in over 3 years. And it's no wonder because of this, gold is breaking out and making a new yearly high and retesting the price that gold was trading at the day before the election took place, which was 307, 308. So there's a lot of action right now, and it's very interesting because if the Fed is going to raise rates and if the Fed is potentially going to use quantitative tightening, you might think that that should be bullish for the dollar. But what's happened over the last 6 or 7 years since the 2008 financial crisis, when a country comes out and prints more money, that's bullish for the currency. Why? Because traders believe that that is potentially positive for the economy. If a country is raising rates and pulling money out of quantitative easing by quantitatively tightening, that's bad for the economy, which in turn turns out to be negative for their currency, and in our case, the US dollar. Now, the interesting thing right now is the dollar put in a flatline support area right around 93 for approximately 3 years. And once you break below that, very interesting things can start to happen. And we saw some of those interesting things today with gold breaking out and silver retesting highs we haven't quite seen for the last few months. Now, interestingly enough, gold is making a new yearly high, whereas silver is well below its yearly high. Some people look at that and believe that that's somewhat of a bearish divergence. But I know one thing for certain. Silver has a tendency to catch up very quickly, and based on the current ratio between silver and gold being as high as 75 to 1, if it were to just drop down to 70 to 1 based on where gold is trading at today, silver would be trading well above 1850. But what it looks like right now is the uncertainty of the current political regime and the uncertainty that exists as far as any tax breaks that we were expecting, which we've priced into the stock market, as far as our budget is concerned, as far as the debt ceiling is concerned. There's a lot of anxiety out there. And obviously that anxiety is showing up in the US dollar as the dollar has dropped precipitously, and investors are starting to move back into precious metals. Are we on the brink of seeing a classic sector rotation as individuals start to take profits in stocks and move into the undervalued asset? And if the dollar is going to continue to fall, and many people believe that the dollar is a fatally flawed currency, then precious metals could be on the brink of a massive move back to the upside. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see what happens as far as the stock market, as far as interest rates are concerned, as far as what's going to happen when the Fed starts to quantitatively tighten. But one thing is for certain. In 2017, gold is far outperforming the US stock market, even though most people wouldn't even believe that to be the case. And gold is so well below its all-time high, it may be positioned for a major move. And don't be surprised when gold moves, it usually pulls its sister metal silver right along with it. And with the ratio being at 75 to 1, silver may be one of the best buys on the board. Give us a call today so we can explain this incredible opportunity to you and find out how precious metals can help you protect and potentially gain profits in your portfolio. Thank you very much.